A very pleasant morning, one and all. In previous class, we have discussed about the texture analysis and uh, and their features of structural features, model-based features, and transform-based features, followed by their edge detections and their types like Sobel operator, Prewitt operator, Canny-Edge operator, and Laplace of Gaussian operator, and their applications of texture analysis and the edge detection. So today, we are going to see what is binary morphology. A binary morphology is a powerful image processing technique used to analyze and manipulate binary images where pixels are classified into two categories. That is nothing but the foreground, typically it is white background, followed by the background, the foreground and background. Foreground is typically for white background and background is typically for black background. It is basically based on the principles of mathematical morphology, which is the study of geometrical structures, and the binary morphology is useful for examining the form and structures of an object to help them to extract and enhancing the image specifications. These operations by probing these operations by probing the image with a small shape called a structuring element, which defines how pixels are added or removed based on their spatial relationship. The major goal for using the binary morphology is to preserve the essential structures by removing their irrelevant, unwanted parts like noises and minor defects. Basically, the binary morphology is useful for to enhancing the essential structures what plays the major role while using the image data. Their key morphological operations are nothing but the dilations, erosion, and opening and closing. It's nothing but how we are handling the pixels by having it in pixel rate. Dilation is a major operation that adds pixels to the boundaries of the foreground image. By doing it, the object by adding the pixel rate in the boundaries, it will make the image to that will make the image to see in a thicker and a larger manner. This is especially helpful when trying to fill small holes or connection break between an one pixel to the another pixel, one pixel with the neighboring pixel. And the erosion is nothing but the opposite of the dilation. In dilation, what we are doing is simply adding the pixel rate, but in case of erosion, we are simply removing the pixel rate to enhance the imaging properties and also to find the correct image. And what is opening is the combination of erosion followed by the dilation. Erosion is nothing but removing the unwanted pixels or objects in image followed by adding the color rate to the image what we are giving. It is significantly changing the size of the main object and also to eradicate the unwanted particles and also to add the connections between while removing the images in the object. And what is closing is nothing but reverse of the opening. First we are doing the dilation followed by the erosion is nothing but the closing operations is used to fill the small holes and also gap inside the object, which makes the shapes more solid and continuous. It is often applied in repairing broken parts of an image and smoothing the contours. And the major use case of the binary morphology is nothing but the noise removal and the object separation and also followed by the skeletonization. Is not the noise removal is nothing but how we are going to handle the pixels and pixels or clusters what is in the image using opening and erosion. And object separation is nothing but by using the overlapping and morphological technique of erosion and opening helps to split them apart, allowing for individual analyzing and the labeling. And the skeletalization is nothing but reduces the object to thin skeletal form, and also it makes the character more recognition and pattern recognition and medical imaging to study the structural framework of an object. And what is gray morphology? Gray morphology is also known as grayscale morphology. It is an extension of binary morphological operations to the grayscale image, in which whereas the grayscale where pixel values range across multiple intensity level instead of being just black or white. It uses the similar concepts of the from my binary morphology such as dilation, erosion, but instead of adding or removing the pixels based on shapes alone, it operates on the intensity values to make suitable for more complex and the detailed imaging study. Is especially used for enhancing the image structures like preserving important visual features like edges, texture, and the contrast. So the difference between the binary morphology and the gray morphology is not is simply we are focusing on the dark and black is coming under the binary morphology, and also the operations are simple like adding and removing and combination of both. But in the case of gray morphology, we are dealing with a detailed imaging structure to enhancing the uh, edge edge detections and also the texture analysis for what we are giving as the input. And the key operations of grayscale morphology is nothing but same as the binary morphology, is nothing but the grayscale dilation, is grayscale erosion, and grayscale opening and closing. Grayscale dilation is each pixel in the images is replaced with the maximum value of its neighborhood pixel within structure of an element. This will helps the images to become more brighter and the features of the image will be more enhanced. It also helpful to enhance the brighter regions of the edge area. And what about the grayscale erosion is nothing but replaces the each pixel with the minimum values of the from the neighborhood. So as a result, the dark features are intensified and expanded while small bright spots are reduced and removed. And opening and closing is nothing but followed by erosion followed by the dilation, is used to smooth the object outlines and remove the small bright details. And the grayscale scrolling is nothing but closing is nothing but the dilation followed by the erosion. You are adding the pixels with the neighborhood pixel areas and also remove by adding it, uh, while become it fill the small dark gaps, connected fragment brighter region and make the overall structure of the object more attachable and more coherent. And the major application is nothing but the medical image analysis, texture smoothing, and the feature extraction. Thank you.